Ready? Start. Madam Deputy Chairman, I support the appropriation bill placed by government before this house for spending an amount of rupees 10,000 crores. The proposals for expenditure placed before this house show that large amounts have been proposed to be spent on several development works. There is no doubt that the government has been spending large amounts of money for various schemes in all fields and in all walks of life of the individual in the society. But the primary consideration is that the benefit of all these schemes is not felt by the individual in the society. When such large amounts are spent under the 5-year plans successively in industrial, social and economic field, the individual to whom the benefit ought to have reached and whose conditions should have been improved is not felt, and that is the reason why there is hue and cry from all quarters that the government is not giving any substantial benefit to the individual in the society. That is the very important thing which we have to bear in mind. In the industrial field, though crores and crores of rupees have been invested, when you compare with the private sector, you find that in the private sector there are huge profits made, while in the public sector there are huge losses. Why is it so? The answer is very simple. The private individual makes personal efforts to see that this production increases and that it brings him profit, but in public sector the capital invested is much higher than what it is in the private sector. In the public sector, more than 1/3 of the investment is diverted towards putting up buildings and installation of machinery. If you take the case of Japan, I am told there such amounts are never spent on construction of big buildings or on installation of machinery. This is why after the Second World War, Japan has been able to regain its position in the industrial field and also in the field of commerce in the world. When we are spending so much money for economic development, for industrial development, should we not think for a while why there is such loss? Several committees have been appointed to go into this matter and they have found the reasons thereof, but how far have we taken up their suggestions and tried to improve to rectify the defects that have been pointed out? The expenditure that we incur is always much more and it goes on increasing, with the result that all these are added to the cost of the product when it comes out of the factory, and we find ourselves unable to compare in the international market. Madam, I have looked into some of the figures in the appropriation bill before us, and I find that a considerable amount is allotted for public health. Although I must say that the health ministry is rather a neglected ministry and it should actually get more money. Stop.
Welcome, friend.